Hello everyone on YouTube and hello everyone here on Twitch as you join me, LM Simulation here on the wonderful live stream here on a Saturday night. I'm also going to be here on YouTube, so if you're watching this back on YouTube, hello to you as well. So tonight, this evening, today, wherever you are in the world, we are going to be exploring the wonderful London Underground Bakerloo Line. We are taking the show deep underground as we explore the wonderful tube stop. I think it's the 1972 tube stop that was, or still is, treading around on the Bakerloo Line at the moment, which we're very much looking forward to exploring. Now, I've not done the London Underground Bakerloo Line yet. I'm actually quite surprised that it's taken me so long to get to this point, but I'm really thrilled to be bringing this to you today. It's going to be a wonderful trip on the Bakerloo Line. We're going to be exploring a lot of the external aspects. We're going to be taking a trip up from Harrow and Wealdstone down to Paddington, so we're not going to be going that far on it. We're not doing the full trip. If you want to see the full journey, just let me know. I'll do a full video on it at some point, but this is going to be merely a review, a route review for the London Underground Bakerloo Line here in Trains in World 2. So I know we're a bit late to the party on this one, but I do hope that you will enjoy it. Nonetheless, there is lots to explore and a lot to show you. So without further ado, let's jump in. Welcome to the London Underground Bakerloo Line, and I'm looking forward to bringing it to you now. Right, let's have a look and see what it wants us to do. I think I have turned the game sound down just a moment. There we go, that'll do better. Wonderful, there we go, so that's a good start. Here we are, London Underground Bakerloo Line. Beneath the busy streets of London, the subterranean network of the world-famous London Underground transport passengers throughout the city. Master the controls of the Tube, as it is affectionately called by the Londoners, in our recreation of the historic Bakerloo Line, exclusive to Trains in World 2. So, here we go, let's do this. What we're going to do is we're going to be doing an explore on foot, because this is probably the best way to do it. It's April. The weather outside is not very nice at all, so we're going to be taking this over to getting a bit more clouds than that, that'll do, around there, and having a little bit more wetness on the ground, just as if it's been raining, because April showers, you know what it's like, roughly 12 degrees, that's about the right temperature. We're going to be starting, well, you can start in here at Paddington. The other end you've got Elephant and Castle, and if you go to the other end of the map you have Harrow and Wealdstone, which is where we're going to be starting tonight. Now it is 9 PM in real life. I'm going to be changing this because that's a little bit too late for my liking. So we'll change it to around about 17:50. That seems about right. It'll be just after the rush hour, sort of kicks off. That'll be around the best time for it, and we'll be able to fully explore it. So yeah, the Harlem Line. That's something else that I will be bringing to the channel at some point. But without further ado, here we are. So. What do I think of this initially? Well, I think it's super. The first thing I'm going to mention is obviously you've got these beautiful destination displays and stuff like that, and these departure screens. They really do add a whole new sort of level of realism to the game. As you can see, kind of nice weather, a little bit darker down there, but yeah, you've got your lovely. I think this is all done by the guys over at Josh Rubio. Josh Rubio is I believe, quite a well-known developer for this game. He does a lot of work, sort of third party for it, but you can see here a lot of the texturing work looks fantastic. I mean, maybe not so much close up. I think it probably doesn't look that good close up, but you can see the wear and tear on this old footbridge here that does need to be replaced here at this is Harrow and Wealdstone. But we're going to be taking this train all the way through to Paddington. You can then continue, as you can see, all the way through Piccadilly Circus, Charing Cross, all of that, but we're not going to be going all that way. So we've got about 4 minutes just to explore this station before the train arrives. So let's add a poster. Mind the Gap. Now that is something well known on the London Underground Bakerloo Line. So let's take a walk down this wonderful platform. As you can see, trains aren't that common. I'm struggling to work out why there's a train in 4 minutes and then there's a train in 40 minutes. It's quite possibly the worst service pattern I've ever known. That is dreadful. At least we timed it right though. So these tracks over here, this is part of the West Coast Main Line. So essentially, trains will pass through here, Class 350s, 377s that are going over to East Croydon, and also Pendolinos. The likes will be travelling along here high speed, heading to and from their destinations from Euston, which is essentially where this line goes as well. This is the Watford DC line here. So not only do you get tube trains on this line, but you'll also get the Class 378s, also the Class 7, is it 710s? I can never remember what they call them. It's the basically the London Overground version of the Adventures. But yeah, let's get ready. I think this station looks very nice indeed. Obviously we're going to be heading sort of into the evening, so the light is going to be getting less and less. So I thought it'd be nice way to sort of showcase this off at around this time of day. It seems about right for us. And basically show off the best of the London Underground Bakerloo Line here in Trains World 2. There's been a lot of development with this game. There's been a hell of a lot of development, and I've been absolutely thrilled to bring bits to you. I absolutely cannot wait to bring so much more content. There is so much to cover that I'm not actually finding the time to be able to cover it all. So Peninsula Corridor is a good example of a DLC that I'll be covering in the future, as well as obviously the Harlem Line. There's a whole US sort of side to this game that I've only just started to uncover, and there'll be a hell of a lot more videos on that in the future, so do look forward to that. We also have a hell of a lot going on in Train Simulator at the moment. We just had the release of the Glasgow Subway, so if you're wondering when this video was filmed, or this live stream is, it's around the same time the Glasgow Subway was released, very recently. That's by the guys at Thompson Interactive, I believe, that have done that for the guys at Train Simulator 2022, or Train Simulator Classic as it's known now. So that's something we're going to have to look into at some point, obviously a little bit further down the line. But in the meantime, this is going to be a very nice little simulation here. Just to give you an idea of how it works up here, you've got a little terminating siding up here. This is the furthest point that the London Underground Bakerloo Line trains go. The tracks up here continue actually onwards to stations like Bushy, and I think it's Carpenter's Park, places like that, up to Watford High Street and Watford Junction. So you'd actually get 378 along here and stuff like that. But our train is here. It's going to be arriving in the station very shortly. We've got a nice little gentleman who's going to bring it in, and then we're going to take off for the journey all the way down into central London, as far as Paddington this evening, where we're going to be terminating. So just basically to give you a rounded idea of what this DLC offers, what you get with it, how to enjoy it, where you can get it from and stuff like that. That's basically what we're covering tonight, and we're going to give an overall rounded view once we get to Paddington of what I think. I like to give a bit of gameplay as well in this, just so that you know what you get yourself into. So here we go. Here is the London Underground Bakerloo Line. This is your 1972 tube stop, I believe. Just coming in here. Train 233. So that's us this evening. Nice empty train. Let's get on board. You can see, look at that. Look how low it is, and that is actually how it is in real life. You've actually got a duck to get on these trains. Right, so hello. This is my train. Time to drive. Yep, so we're going to be driving it, not all the way to Elephant and Castle, but there you go. This is 1972 Mark II tube stop. Lovely stuff. Right, so they've got it into inter. I'm going to put it into forward. Put the lights on there. You can actually take this down a little bit, this window, which is nice, just to be able to do that. But we've got to lock the doors, which is this button here. And then we should get the signal to go after that. There we go. Lovely, as if by magic. Hopefully. Hopefully at some point this can go. Oh, I've messed up somewhere, haven't I? Yeah, I have. I've messed up somewhere royally with this. I can never work out how to do these tube trains. Every time I do it, it's something different. I specifically spent about 5 minutes before this video proving to myself that I knew how to drive these trains. Clearly I don't. Clearly I don't, because I feel like I'm doing everything correctly here, and yet nothing is happening. Have they got the The control key's in. Yep. So we're good. Direction selector's in. Everything's in. Right, we might have to restart, guys. This is the perks of being live streaming, because obviously you can never get things right, can you? So, oh my word, this thing really doesn't want to go anywhere this evening, does it? Overload tricking test. Is it something to do with the doors? Are they... No, it just doesn't want to do anything. Let's have a look from the outside. Yeah, we're good from the outside. There's nothing stopping us apart from this. We're going forward. We'll do it. Yeah, it literally doesn't want to go anywhere, this train. I'm not too sure why it's being so useless. We're going to have to go somewhere sometime soon. Come on. No, I just do not know how to operate this train. I am very sorry. We're going to have to start again. I have done it. In the tutorial, I have shown myself how to drive this train, and yet it still doesn't want anything to do with me. Right, I really, I'm annoyed at that, on the basis that I showed myself how I drive this train, and yet it didn't want anything to do with it, so... Right, let's change it to 1610 at Harrow and Wealdstone, and try again, basically. Hope that there's a train due very soon. Perks of being live, isn't it? Absolutely. Train approaching, that's what we like to hear. Right, let's jump on this. Hope things go a lot better this time. I have no idea what I was doing wrong there, because I did exactly what it said to do in the tutorial. And, nope, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right, well, let's have a look. Can't get it wrong 2 times in a row, can you? So, we'll start again, 2 hours earlier, see how things go. Now, I'm intentionally going to leave that in there, just to prove to you that this is not as easy as pressing go. That this train does require some level of competence to be able to drive it. I must admit, it has been about 6 months since I've last driven this. If I'm going to be absolutely honest, it has been quite a while, so... Right, so let's try again. Attempt number 2. Attempt number 2. Right, so... let's have a look. Lock the doors. So we'll lock the doors. Got us into forward. Yeah, no idea. I absolutely have no idea what was going on there. There we go. So, just completely forget everything that just happened and we'll start again. Welcome to the London Underground Bakerloo Line, everyone. Welcome to this Ellen simulation video. Hope you enjoyed it. Been a lot of fun. But we are indeed starting again. Oh, well, it's going to be an interesting one, definitely. So, we are next stop Kenton on this one. Our speed limit is not till 45, so we seem to be doing alright. We are in what would known as Weakfield, I think is what you would call it if you were a true London Underground professional. This is known as Weakfield, so essentially going into sort of the higher ranges of the notches, getting up to the highest speeds you can, and being able basically to showcase that to everyone. That's what the main thing is. There you go, we've got a 90 mile an hour speed limit, so I kind of doubt that. But yes, our next station is coming up. This is Kenton at 16:13. As you can probably give me a feeling, feels quite good indeed. I do think I know what the issue was there, actually, guys. The train will not move if you have the window open. I recall that very vaguely. For some weird reason, the train will not go anywhere if this window is open. So I've now made sure it's closed, and yeah, we seem to be on our way. So yeah, let's keep that window closed from now on. I'm not too sure why that's a thing. Surely there will be better minds than me that can explain why if with the window open you can't go anywhere. Maybe it's something to do with the operating on the underground, but we'll see. So, doors are open. Let's have a look outside. We'll get a lovely little screenshot as we stand here at Kenton. Oh, these do look good, don't they? Beep beep. Right, lock the doors. Let's get underway. Next stop on this service will be South Kenton, I believe. Is that right? South Kenton. Ah, I'm doing well on this now. So let's watch us leave. I'll do the horn for you in a minute, or the whistle, whatever you want to call it. It's not overly amazing, but it's all right. Does the job. These are now some of the oldest, probably the oldest tube stop that operates on the network, along with the Piccadilly line. The Piccadilly line is being replaced first, and then the Bakerloo line will come not too long after that. Not sure if you can hear that correctly, but that's your whistle there for you. So next stop on this service will be South Kenton. We are running a little bit late, as you can probably tell. We are due here about a minute ago, but we are running about a minute behind. You've got the West Coast Main Line on your left there. That was probably one of the major downfalls in this simulator, is the fact that you have the West Coast Main Line there, but you are unable to have any AI on it. There is no AI trains on the West Coast Main Line whatsoever, which makes it a little bit dire, and a lot of people think, oh, it's a little bit pointless to have it then, if there's no AI on it. It has been included simply to be there. I would love to see visible AI, 350s and Pendolinos. We don't have any of those trains in the game at the moment, so you cannot reasonably expect them to be in this DLC. One thing you can expect is those lovely platform information screens, which are probably one of the main reasons why I use this sim as much as I do. Oh, I've gone a little bit over here. There we go. Yeah, so the platform information screens are one of the main reasons why I play this sim as much as I do. It's really, honestly, it's on another level to games like Train Simulator, where you don't get those platform information screens. I truly think that, you know, you could just stand here, you could actually be a passenger in this, and that is one of the major draws to this simulator. You know, other simulators like Train Simulator 2022, yeah, and what I mean is Train Simulator Classic, I'm never going to get that into my head, but that sort of simulator, yeah, you can have the hang out the window scenes and stuff like that, but you can't actually be a passenger. You can't physically go and sit in any seat in the train or do anything like that. That is where this comes into its own, and I am absolutely going to be thrilled when they finally upgrade the likes of Great Western Express and stuff like that to have these platform information screens. One of my favourite routes for the platform information screens is London to Brighton. You can go to any station on that route, and they all have platform information screens. You could just do a jolly up and down that line as a passenger all day in this sim. And it brings a tear to my eye that we've come this far. You know, I remember the likes of Rail Simulator when Oxford to Paddington was one of the default routes and stuff like that. This is so different to that. It's on a different level. It really is. That's quite a bright subway there, the bridge, overbridge. I don't think we've got AWS in these, so these yellow signals, you're not going to get any audible sort of confirmation of them because there's no AWS fitted in these. But this is one of the rarer lines where you get London Underground and you also get National Rail sharing the same metal. So, for example, here you get 378s, which are owned by London Overground, and that's an overground service. Trains, actual physical trains. These are tube trains, very different. So, anyway, let's get the doors locked. I don't think sort of the rush hour sort of scene has come over to this route just yet. As you can probably tell, the service pattern of these tube trains are not very often. There's our colleague over there. Nice to see. But I must admit, the exterior of these do look impressive indeed. And I love the sounds. The running sounds are really nice indeed. Not necessarily what I expected when it comes to running sounds. I expected something a lot worse than this, actually, to be honest. This is a very, very high-end running sound system. Especially from the likes over at Dovetail Games. I'm used to complete naff, but this isn't actually that bad. I'll give it credit where credit's due. It's very enjoyable. So anyway, here we are, Wembley Central. This is probably one of the biggest stations you will experience on this line. Before we get to Willesden, that is Willesden Junction. Willesden Junction was one of my favourite train stations, and I'll tell you why when we get closer to that area. But this is Wembley Central. Now, I've never been to Wembley Central, because I've actually never been to Wembley in my life, which is probably quite a weird thing to say. Most people have been to Wembley, and I've never had the opportunity, unfortunately. But fingers crossed that opportunity may come in the future, because I'd love to go, even as just a one-off experience in your life. Just like going to like the Major League Soccer, MLS, Major League Baseball, whatever it is. You know, going to American soccer, going to the Super Bowl, stuff like that. You know, do it as a one-off, so you can say you've done it. There we go, welcome to Wembley Central. So this is delightful Wembley Central. Over there you've got the start of Wembley Yard over there, a ginormous train yard that is operated by mostly DB Cargo. They've also got the Willesden PRDC, Princess Royal Distribution Centre, which is basically the mail centre at Willesden. So we'll be going past that as well, so I'll showcase everything as we pass it, just to get people a bit more familiar with the route, but get people involved basically and enjoying it. It's such a fantastic route, I must admit. It is totally well worth getting though. I really think there's a lot of potential for routes like this, especially when you take underground trains into it. You know, there's so much expansion that people can do. You know, we've got this underground route. That proves that Dovetail Games are very good at designing underground routes. They've done an astonishing job with this, so far at least. And I'd be happy to see other underground routes come out. You know, Jubilee Line, bring that on. You know, sort of stuff like that. Get some Piccadilly Line action in there. Get to Heathrow, stuff like that. Yeah, defo. I'm all in for that. But hey, yeah, next stop is Stonebridge Park. Now, Stonebridge Park's got a depot next to it. The depot is operated by London Underground, but they also have Wembley. Wembley's Alston depot is based at Stonebridge Park as well. So that's just here on the right hand side. This is all Wembley's Alston depot over here. That's where the Pendolinos are serviced. Have a lot of their maintenance done there at Wembley. And as we just go past there, that is the the exit roads out of Stonebridge Park, London Underground Depot. Yeah, I think we stopped a little bit too soon there because we were going a tad too fast, but there we go. So, welcome. This is Stonebridge Park. So, as you can see over there, you've got big old Wembley in the distance, Wembley Stadium. Now, Wembley Stadium station is for the Chiltern main line. So that's specifically on that main line. But we've got over here, you can see the carriage washes over there and stuff like that. We've got the old signal box here, which is here in real life. This is all part of the Stonebridge Park, sort of the Wembley side of it. That's the Holston depot over there. Right, so here we go, onwards. My next stop on this service is Holston. So Holston is probably more the Royal Mail terminal. So Holston is sort of the area where you get off of the Royal Mail. Princess Royal Distribution Centre is in Holston, that area there. I have just noticed this, and I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but oh my word, that's a lovely screenshot location. These are semaphores. Why are there semaphores on this line? There are not semaphores in this line in real life, I can tell you that. Not on your Nelly, there are semaphores on that line in real life. But yeah, there's semaphores. Don't know who's put them in. That must be as a... It's another one that we just passed there. That must have been just as a sort of a funny joke or something like that. I don't know. Don't know why there'd be semaphores on that line. That's an inlet line into Holston, Wembley. I couldn't think of any place that was least likely to have semaphores than that line. But as you can see, what we've just gone past there is Princess Royal Distribution Centre there. We are speeding, so let's get our speed down. Otherwise we will struggle because it has good brakes as long as you brake early enough. After that the brakes are naff. So but yeah, welcome to Holston for the Princess Royal Distribution Centre, aka Royal Mail. That'll do us. So, after this, I believe the next station and calling point on this should, if I remember it rightly, should be Wilson Junction. And there's a lot of stories to tell about Wilson Junction, which I'll be happy to explore. There you go, Wilson Junction, also. Yeah, so Wilson Junction, a station I spent a lot of my younger years at. Basically just for train spotting when they used to base class 92s at Wilson TMD. So I'd always head down to Wilson Junction and get my super long lens and see if I could zoom in and see any 92s that are parked outside the train maintenance depot at Wilston. I also used to enjoy Wilston because it's a change of driver point for Wembley Depot drivers. So a lot of drivers based at Wembley Depot who operate trains that go through Wilson Junction, so heading towards North London Line to the West London Line, to head onwards to places like Kew and Richmond and stuff like that. Those freight train drivers would change at Wilson Junction High Level. So I used to like watching the freight trains come in, and at the time there was a lot of Class 800 testing programs taking place, and deliveries from Doncaster down to North Pole and places like that, with Class 800s being delivered to Great Western Railway, and they used to come through. Wilson Junction. I don't think they changed driver there though, if I recall correctly. But yeah, they used to come through Wilson Junction because right, there we go. Yeah, so they used to come through Wilson Junction to change drivers when they were operating from Doncaster to essentially North Pole Depot, which is just by Acton Main Line. So essentially, the trains would come off at Copenhagen Junction just before sort of Camden Road, and the link between the East Coast Main Line at King's Cross and Camden Road, and then they'd go round all the way round Kentish Town West, I think, all of those stations and stuff like that, and eventually they would head over to the Great Western Main Line at Acton Wells Junction, or Acton Junction, or whatever they call it these days. So many different names for them. So, I'll showcase you something nice now. On the right hand side, we're just going to go past Wilston Train Maintenance Depot. Now the contract with GBRF has ended, so there are no longer any Class 92s based here. They're actually exclusively based at Wembley, but it is still nice to see a fully functioning train maintenance depot there for everyone to see. That is nice to see there. There's one of the inlet lines there. You could actually go past it and see 92s just parked inside the shed and stuff like that. And these trains. So I used to enjoy going on the London Underground and stuff like that. In real life, there's a few HFTs parked there, I think now, actually in storage, if they're still there, that is. But I haven't been to Wilston or anywhere on this line for a long, long time, so it's well overdue a trip now, definitely. But I have thoroughly enjoyed travelling on this line. I think the most recent time was maybe a couple of years ago when I went on the Class 710s for the first time. They're lovely, really, really good. In the summer when it gets really warm, the air conditioning on those units are absolutely superb. Really, really high quality and clearly built quite well. I believe they're built up in Derby actually, so they're built in the UK. So you are travelling on a UK built train. So you should feel proud to be British, definitely, at that time. So here we are now approaching Kensal Green. So now we approach sort of the Queen's Park area. This is where we heading more into the London Underground territory of this, rather than the London Overground territory, which is where we've basically been on. So once we get to Queen's Park, we divert away from the Watford Dc Line and head underground. And that's where it gets interesting, I can tell you that. Because you might enjoy this overground, but underground this is a whole different kettle of fish. Definitely. So help if I press the right button. Yeah, but you've got your London Underground branding here, and looking very nice indeed. I must admit, I like the detailing of these sort of wires on the brickwork, and it feels very enclosed, doesn't it? A lot of these stations, they feel very like you're very low down, like you're getting underground. I think that's what it feels like more. But hey, Queen's Park is the next station stop, so this is our final station stop on the Watford Dc Line. After Queen's Park, we will head underground, and we are actually approaching the end of this trip very soon, actually, to be honest. Because once you get to Queen's Park, it's only a couple of stations before you're at Paddington, to be honest. So that's what I used to like about this line. So I used to live down on that Great Western Main Line out of Paddington. So you could literally just go into Paddington, jump on the Bakerloo Line, and be at Wilston in next to no time. Really, really, really good link. So you have got a slow speed as you head through. You literally got to go through the shed at Queen's Park in order to be able to get into Queen's Park Station. So we do have a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up quite quickly. I'll start slowing down for it in a moment. Look at that. Talk about timing. Brilliant. And there we go, it's another London Underground Bakerloo Line train. So this is kind of a shed here, this area at Queen's Park. So essentially trains can stable here and start here. So this can be sort of a intermediate point where Bakerloo Line trains can start at Queen's Park and head all the way through to Elephant and Castle, which is the terminating point. So we've got the road straight in here. We're actually about 3 minutes late, which is typical because I can't keep a timetable for my life, especially when doing live streaming. I just want to showcase the beauty of these simulators. But yeah, you can watch us come in if you want. This is Queen's Park Station in all of its glory. Oh look, train approaching from either direction. Look at that. Talk about timing, we did well there. Right, so let's unlock our doors and let the lovely passengers of London onto our Bakerloo Line train. Oh, he's only going to Stonebridge Park. Oh no, Stonebridge Park? Stonebridge Park, is he? Yeah, not quite far enough for my liking. Right, let's get the doors locked. Yeah, Stonebridge Park, that's another terminating point. Obviously you've got the depot there at Stonebridge Park, so these London Underground Bakerloo trains can terminate at Stonebridge Park. I'm not going to depart too soon, because obviously we've got that 15-mile-an-hour speed limit. As we exit Queen's Park, but our next stop is Kilburn Park, and then we start heading underground. It's going to be fun indeed. And there we go. Simultaneous departures there on the London Underground Bakerloo Line. Here we are, so we are going underground now. We are diverting away from the traditional network rail metals, and we head exclusively underground here. And now this is going to truly feel like the London Underground for you. So Kilburn Park's our next stop. Just feel how dark it is. They've really had to make this as immersive as possible. We haven't really had a proper London Underground experience yet in this video, but now we can. Monotonous, continuous tunnels. Truly feel like you are deep underground London's suburban nature. Oh dear! Wow, that was quick. That caught me by surprise, that really did. That really did catch me by surprise. I didn't think that was going to come up that quickly, blimey. Wow, so you've got to be alert, I'll tell you that, because you go from tunnels to station in almost maybe 5 seconds. You get very little time to react. So you need to be alert as a London Underground driver, and this video will showcase why I'm a naff London Underground driver. So next stop is Maida Vale. We continue underground. We've still got 700 yards, so this is quite a far one, this one. Kilburn Park to Maida Vale. But it will soon come round, I can tell you that. I mean, 35 miles an hour doesn't sound like a fast speed, but when you're going through monotonous tunnel and then you suddenly enter a station at 35, you'll struggle to slow down, as I just did. So when you get to about 150 yards, you want to start on your brake. Well, I'd stop my brake now, to be honest, but there we go. It's a bit of a better way to enter the station there for you. Lovely stuff, there you go, much better. Welcome to Maida Vale. So let's have a quick look around, if it will let us very quickly. we go. This is your London Underground Bakerloo Line train. Welcome. This is Maida Vale on the Brown Line, which everyone knows is the Bakerloo Line. So we're going to get back in the cab and continue. Once we get to Paddington, we'll have a little bit of a look around, just to familiarise yourself with basically what you can expect from this simulator in the deep, dark depths of London. So next stop is Warwick Avenue. Oh, it's almost scary down here. It really is how quickly you can approach these stations from just a random angle. But I do love it. I really do. It's just the thrill of being able to drive and be in the control of this rather long London Underground train, twisting and turning through the streets of London, under the streets of London, that is. And Warwick Avenue, this one, will turn out in almost no time at all. So I'm going to start braking. There you go. Out of nowhere, Warwick Avenue just appears. There you go. Too far again. You see, it's a real learning opportunity to be able to drive this and enjoy this. You really learn how to be able to fully control the train and do everything, manipulate it, treat it like it's meant to be treated. You really have to be on the top of your ball to be able to get this right. You really do. But there we go. Next stop on this service is indeed Paddington, where this train will terminate today, or where my journey will terminate today. So, we'll have a quick look at Paddington as a station. A lot of the stations are very similar, so once you know what Paddington looks like, you'll know what a lot of the other stations look like. Obviously, that being said, the likes of Sherlock Holmes, Baker Street and stuff like that can differ. But as a generic sort of, this is what a station looks like. Paddington is a good idea of what you can expect. So we'll have a look of our train at the station, exactly what you can expect, and I'll give my final verdicts on this wonderful piece of DLC, I feel. Yeah, I've got a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up that we do need to be aware of. So I'm going to start slowing down for that now. There you go. We've also got 20 coming up as well, but that's just after Paddington there, so. But here we go, this is Paddington Station, where our fantastic journey on the London Underground Bakerloo Line will unfortunately end this evening, but there's a lot more of this to come, I can assure you of that, and a lot more journeys to enjoy. So, here we go, this is the cab of the 1972 London Underground stock. It does look fantastic indeed. Obviously it looks very old fashioned and stuff like that. A lot of these buttons are quite old hat, but it does the job, it gets you to where you want to be, and that's the main thing. So you can even have a seat in the wonderful little London Underground seat. How you doing, my friend? Treat it like you're on a little tube trip, do you know what I mean? You've also got these seats here, which people tend to prefer because obviously they're directional seating and stuff like that. You've got your full map here, Harrow and Wealdstone. We've done all this journey all the way down to Paddington here. We can change for the Circle District and trains to Heathrow. Onwards you go all the way through to Elephant and Castle, and this route covers the entirety of that. We've got Barbados looking lovely over there. But welcome to Paddington, everyone. I tell you what, it has been a wonderful journey on the London Underground Bakerloo Line today. I just think, like, textures of these seats and stuff like that, that is so good. That is awesome. Hello, mate. You want to have a sit down, do you? Yeah, it's just really, really, really intense how well they've done this. And obviously, like, the architecture that they put on the walls here and stuff like that, possibly taken from the real station, Paddington. I sort of getting the sort of scent of what Paddington sort of smells like. It's a very old-fashioned smell, that. That's where the two trains are attached there in the middle. Wow. But you do have your destination displays up here, your platform information screens. Tell you that you've got a train to Elephant and Castle in 17 minutes, and one right now. And then it will obviously show up the third train in a moment as well. Just to tell you that you've got a third train as well. Or I think it will, at least. Forgotten how these platform information screens work. Yeah, there you go. 17 minutes until the next train. After mine, of course, obviously. But yeah, so there you go. That is the London Underground Bakerloo Line. You can change from the District and Circle lines and the Hammersmith and City Line, and also Paddington Station. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed bringing this to you today. It's been very, very fun indeed. I love this little no smoking. That looks fantastic. Off it goes. So, what do I think of the London Underground Bakerloo Line? I think it is simply terrific. It is a true advertisement for what you can do in Trains in World 2, what this game engine, what this simulator will really offer. And absolutely, I've had terrific fun bringing you. You can go all the way down to Lambeth North, Elephant and Castle, all of these stations. Baker Street. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun bringing this to you this evening, and it's been wonderful to be able to live stream it to you on Twitch as well, so I do hope you have enjoyed. All links will be in the description below for you guys on YouTube, and I will see you definitely in the next video here on LN Simulation on both Twitch and YouTube. So I hope you have enjoyed, and I will definitely see you next time. In the meantime, have a lovely bank holiday, have a lovely May Day bank holiday, everyone, if you haven't had it already, that is, and I will see you in the next video. All the best. Do take care, and ta-ra!